Hello, I'm Jef Forward, and welcome back to the podcast. And today we are going to talk about the feedback that made us better, how listening has helped us improve our clients' experience. So, and this is a complicated business, and we don't pretend that we have it all figured out. We are always learning, and we developed that mindset a long time ago, and it still serves us today, and hopefully is serving our clients as well. And today, Chad and I are going to have a conversation specifically about 3 moments over the past 5 years that have really helped us improve, and it's all from our clients sharing their thoughts and us listening. Specifically today, there's going to be 4 things that you will learn about. The type of feedback that will actually help the builder you're currently working with, how early transparency can save you time, smart questions for you to ask during your project, and a little insight in terms of how great teams evolve. So today, I'm joined by Chad Weiler, one of our project consultants, and he is one of the first people our clients meet. So Chad, why don't you tell us a little bit about your involvement and why that is important?
Yeah, thank you, Jef. So I'm connected directly with our homeowners working through the design and build process. So I often tell our homeowners and our clients that I've got the best job because I get from day one through design, through construction and completion.
What is it that you're really doing? Mm-hmm. What service are you really providing to our clients?
I guess you could say I'm kind of their client experience liaison.
Oh, there's a better word. Come on.
I think you used one earlier. Was it a Sherpa?
A Sherpa. Yeah. Great. Okay.
I don't know what a Sherpa is, but it sounds right.
Well, a Sherpa guides people from the base of the mountain all the way up to the top, and through, for people who've never done it before, and that's what they do.
And many of our homeowners haven't done this before, so
right.
We want to make sure that climb to the top of the mountain is a good one.
Right, and because you get to see the process from beginning to end, you also get to see some of the patterns that emerge.
Definitely.
And, our best ideas almost always come from our clients' feedback.
And we want to listen to that feedback throughout.
Is it direct feedback? Is it like in passing comments? Is it through our surveys?
It's a little bit of both, but, we sometimes hear a little nugget in a comment, and we want to understand that more and dig deeper into that comment.
Our best ideas typically come from our clients. And you're often at the forefront of hearing these. So tell me a little bit about that.
You could call it a lightning rod, which is good.
Okay.
But oftentimes I want to have that direct question with our homeowner, and I just don't want like a simple yes or no response. I want to give them a question that prompts some type of action or learning opportunity on our end.
Okay, great. And, we're not really talking about big breakdowns. We've gotten that out of our system over 20 years ago. So these are little things, little comments that come up, but they make us think. Okay.
And that's good. We want to think and we want to tinker with our experiences working with clients. We want to grow. We want to evolve.
Right. Have we ever done the same project twice?
No.
And we have had multiple repeat clients, but every project and every client is different. So,
which is fun.
And us having a similar or the same process that we're taking folks through is very important, but our ability to tailor to that client is, we feel, really a competitive advantage for us. But it all comes from listening to our clients over the years. We're going to jump into 3 specific examples that have happened over the last 5 years, and we're going to basically show you what's it like behind the scenes to receive this feedback, how it made us feel. We're going to be a little vulnerable with this. So I hope this is going to be a fun conversation and you're going to learn from it. But let's talk about the first one, which was transparency in the design process. Mm-hmm. How did that come about?
Great question. And transparency is giving a breakdown in terms of how we estimate to ensure that our clients were on the same side of the table as our clients.
Versus
maybe the opposite side where they may feel like we're hiding numbers from them.
Right. Okay. Tell me about the specific client. Yeah. We're not going to name names, but tell us about their feedback that they gave us after they signed a construction agreement. We moved into construction. They gave us feedback on the design process. Why don't you dig into that a little bit?
So with these particular homeowners, we were developing a couple different options for their project. Mm-hmm. And previously, when we would develop options, it was, we'd go back to our estimator, and then we may need another meeting to present the potential cost implication of that option, or inversely, a potential cost saving of that option, which often required more time.
Right.
And the feedback we got from this particular client was that she felt like the design phase was maybe 6 or 7 weeks longer than it needed to be.
Right.
And that feedback was really helpful for us because guess what? She was right.
She was.
She was dead on.
Right.
So now we've tweaked how we estimate to provide transparency within our estimating process.
Right.
And what that allows us to do, instead of having more meetings to show what that option, that design iteration may cost, we can do that in live time in a meeting. Right. So we're not necessarily needing an additional meeting or two to gain clarity on that option.
Right. Our estimating system is we use Smartsheet, and it's a big spreadsheet. Mm-hmm. And we just needed time to change how we report to create the new reporting for this system, because we also don't want to overwhelm somebody with a huge spreadsheet, but providing the information in a way that makes sense and that you could easily pull out pad and paper in the meeting and figure it out right then and there that, this could add 10,000 or could add 20,000, and the client could make the value-based decision right then and there if that was worth it.
Yeah. Within that transparency approach, we often then can provide our recommendation to our homeowners on what we think would be best based on the design, the aesthetics, and the budget as well.
Right. If the value of that decision is there in terms of overall use and the long-term advantage of that.
It does, again, reiterate that we're on the same side of the table as you.
Right.
We want to work together, provide that transparency so we can ultimately lead to a more efficient design phase, that we don't need that additional 6 weeks of time like we learned from the homeowner a few years back.
Right. The big benefit of this new process is that this just gets printed. Every presentation, once we get through the big conceptual work of where we're going, this becomes an automatic discussion if the client wants to do it. And we find that only 30% of our clients actually want to see it, or when we want to work through an option, we simply pull it out. The idea is that it's always there all the way through our final construction agreement, where we're printing our subcontractor quotes, our material quotes, we're showing everything. It's there to see and to look at and to verify. And that's a great moment if we want to add anything or change anything. It's very easy to do.
And if you are considering a product of your own and your builder that you're potentially interviewing to work with can't provide that transparency, I would encourage you to dig deeper and ask why they can't do that.
Right. And so it's there's a lot of nuances with that, because there's cost plus contractors or time and material contractors, and that kind of automatically comes with it. But that also has a lowball approach or bait and switch approach in terms of you can start your project sooner. We can work out the details once we get into construction. And that's a whole different podcast series to get into. I know in our market, we're the only design build company that offers transparency with the benefit of a fixed fee agreement once we move into construction. And that has been a great journey for us to go through to make that shift, that we are on the same side of the table when we're developing a project. So the second thing to talk about is we had a repeat client actually working on their third project with us. They gave us some feedback that led us to directly change how we perform certain types of projects. And we've introduced a lead craftsman role or a single operator role. Tell us about that.
So many times with our homeowners, particularly when we have repeat projects within their home, there may be a smaller scale project like a hall bathroom or maybe a basement refinish. And previously we would have had our typical approach of a project manager with our carpenters, with our specialty trades. And what we found is that for those smaller scale projects, that might not be the best approach.
Because it took a little more time?
Exactly.
Okay.
So with the feedback that we've been given from our homeowners, we've switched our approach with these smaller scale projects for a single operator performer.
Okay, so that the role is typically, it's a lead craftsman right now. But in describing that internally, we call it a single operator, meaning they're going to be on site performing the bulk of the work with additional support from our other craftspeople, our tile folks, our painter, our paint team. The paint team is coming. And it's really led to a big difference, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And this was it was a catalyst derived by the feedback we got from our homeowner.
Right. So how that feedback happened actually helped us get to our third big change or improvement in our process. And that is the idea of only asking open-ended questions during the project. I know that sounds kind of vague, but let's jump into that.
Sure. So we can't grow or improve if we don't get direct feedback from our homeowners. And previously we were asking maybe more like yes or no questions. For example, how is this going? And that's a yes or no question, but what can we learn from that?
So it was a closed question.
Yes, exactly.
A closed-ended question. There's only two possible answers, and most people are going to go to the easiest answer.
Yeah. And now we've shifted our mindset. What can we do more of in the next 2 weeks? So that's the feedback we can get from that, we can learn, grow, but most importantly, we can really improve the client's experience in the forward moment.
Right. So just to bring this full circle, we previously were always asking the question, we wanted to understand if they were happy, if, what their experience is like. And then we would also report that in our team meetings about where the client is and what we need to do to get them where we want them to be. And we realized that we're asking the wrong question to the client. And with this open-ended question of what can we do more of in the next 2 weeks, or what can we do better, it's that we're already inviting a critique and we're only looking for information that we can act on for an improvement.
Well, what we've learned is we want to make sure that we're giving our homeowners permission to give us critique and feel safe in doing so.
Right.
We can't judge them for giving us critique. We can only listen and learn from it.
Right. We can't change how, like, people are going to feel how they feel. And to get defensive about it is just living in the past, and we have to accept it, understand what we can do to change how they feel in the next 2 weeks about a situation, but let's get it on the table of what they want over the next 2 weeks, and then we're actually talking about that at our meetings. In a great game of business, we don't talk about whether a client is happy now until the very end. And every 2 weeks, in terms of the cadence of our meetings, but in our meetings, we're always talking about what the client is going to need in the next 2 weeks. And it is a team-wide knowledge that this particular client has this unique thing happening, and we have to do more of this to make them happy, to get them to where they need to be. So,
and that's a group effort.
It's a group effort,
and it's
right.
fun to bring everyone together and the independent team members and come together as a group to say, what can we do here?
Right. So, but how can we get this done that we know what the client wants us to focus on? So those are the three things that have really made a big difference for us and our clients over the last 5 years. And we're excited to continue that. Let's talk about our culture of constant improvement. So I'm in a peer group of other design build companies from around the country. And one of the things we worry about or talk about is that change within a company can cause fatigue amongst the team. And, and that's certainly right. So we try to keep our systems and our overall process very consistent, but we're always looking for ways of improving. And again, they're not big changes, they're subtle changes. But when a client gives us a complaint, like that can sometimes, like some companies do that. They get defensive.
And we don't want to shy away from a complaint. In fact, what we've learned in the last couple of years here is that a complaint is truly a gift.
Right. Where I was going with the change thing is because sometimes we get a complaint. It's like, oh, we have to change everything.
Well, can I ask a question on that? What's I would assume there's a big difference between a change and evolve.
Right. Great point. And that's how we look at it. We're looking at how can we evolve and grow the mindset across the team where the team isn't seeing a complaint as, oh, we're going to have a big change coming up and I have to relearn something. But that's not it. It's an evolution of thought and subtle tweaks within our already good system. I love that idea that a complaint is a gift. If you've enjoyed this podcast and you are in the process of planning a remodel, or are already in a remodel, you can download our feedback guide, which can help you in whatever situation you're in or help you choose who you want to work with going ahead. And if you are planning a remodel and you're looking for a team that can listen, learn, and evolve, please give us a call. We'd love to help. Thank you.